to dial, please. This is the Patty Duke Show. You're asking yourself, what am I doing on the Patty Duke Show? Well, that's quite a story. It seems that a few weeks ago, the president of the junior class at a high school in Brooklyn was having some cats over, and it was a meeting. And?
Therefore, we highly resolve to make this year's junior prom the finest affair in the school's history. All those in favor say aye.
Aye!
So moved. We'll now proceed to nominate a prom chairman. But first, I want to congratulate Patty Lane on the terrific job she did as chairman of last year's prom.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The band was sensational. The refreshments delish.
Just doing my part, George.
What you did last year was tops, Patty. Which means this year we'll need an even bigger name.
Won't be easy.
We'll need one of the all-time greats of show business.
At least.
But where'll we find a prom chairman who can get us a star like that?
Beats me.
Kids, what are we waiting for? Why don't we renominate Patty Lane?
Hey, yeah, why don't we renominate... No!
I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye! George, I can't do it again.
Opposed?
Me.
Our motion is carried. Patty, the people have spoken. What have you got to say?
Help.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Oh, stop looking so glum, Patty. It's a compliment to you.
Oh, yummy. But what do I do about it?
Oh, you'll rise to the occasion. A girl with your energy and resourcefulness.
And family connections? Papa, you're a big newspaper man.
You're managing editor of the Chronicle.
So, what would you say if your only daughter asked you to use your influence to...
Just what I said last year.
That's what I figured.
But I admire your persistence. Well, I'm off to hear President Johnson address the newspaper editors' convention.
President Johnson? Do you think he would come? No, I guess not. Besides, he doesn't sing or dance or anything.
I'll walk you the car.
Now, if Harry Truman were still in the White House...
What am I gonna do, Kath? I'm doomed. You'll come through, Patty. How? What am I supposed to do? Go to Hollywood and ring doorbells, fly over Times Square and say, "Hi, Broadway stars, I'm Patty Lane and I need help"? That's it. That's what, Patty? I think I got it. You're going to fly over Times Square? Of course not. What do you think I am, some kind of a kook?
Already. You've been at this for 3 hours.
4, but who's counting?
Go home. Give up.
Never.
Patty, my dogs are killing.
Mine too, Richard, but I'm not quitting. Because somewhere, somebody up there, I mean in a Broadway theater, somewhere, somebody's gonna look out the window and they're gonna say,
Hey, dig this crazy kid. What kid is that, Mike?
Down there with a sandwich sign. She's been like picketing Schubert Alley all afternoon.
My name's Patty Lane. Help. What's her problem?
I asked her. She wants a Broadway star to come and entertain at some high school dance. In Brooklyn yet.
So she puts on a sandwich sign. Good for her.
You know what she's paying?
What?
$15.
You're kidding. $15.
She ought to be home learning her lessons.
No, she's a very smart girl. She's got guts.
2 minutes, Mr. Davis.
Come in, Big Daddy. You know something, Mike? When I was a kid, I used to pull nutty stunts like that just to get myself noticed.
Yeah, sure. Listen, Sammy, about that recording date.
Do me a favor. Go downstairs and get her and bring her up here, will you?
Up here? What for?
I've just decided. I'm going to that dance.
Oh, come on, Sammy. You gonna play a benefit for a bunch of Bobby Soxers?
Yeah, in Brooklyn, and for $15 yet.
It's crazy, Sammy. Besides which, you can't afford to take the money. Add that 15 to what you're making already. You know what happens?
No.
You wind up in the 102% income tax bracket.
You're on, Mr. Davis.
I hear you. Just do me a favor. Bring her up here. I'll talk to her after the scene.
You gotta be joking, Sammy.
You know me, sweetheart. I never joke. Get her up here.
Anything you say, baby.
It's a very nice ad, Miss Lane.
Oh, thank you. I wrote it myself.
But have you any idea what we charge to run a full page?
More than $8.35.
That wouldn't pay for an ad this big. Besides, you'd be wasting your money.
Why? Doesn't everybody in show business read Variety?
We like to think so.
Oh, and aren't show business people always doing things to help worthy causes?
Yes, they are.
Well, then why can't they do something for the junior class at Brooklyn Heights High School? Well, anyway, thanks for seeing me.
My pleasure. Here, want this back?
No, thank you. I know when I'm licked.
Jesse, come in my office. I got a story about a high school kid in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I see Variety's got a story on that kid.
What kid?
Patty Lane. The girl with the sandwich sign. Hey, incidentally, how come she never came up here like I said?
Well, she took off before I could tell her.
I bet.
Sammy, baby, everybody knows you got a heart big as all outdoors. My job is to keep it indoors.
Oh, bless you. You know, she tried to buy an ad for $8.35, a full-page ad in Variety.
Well, that's what I call guts.
She still hasn't got a star for her prom. Well, this time I'm going to see that she gets one.
No, Sammy.
Yes!
No.
Look, I happen to date kids who don't give up.
Sammy, baby, you're doing 8 shows a week, plus recording dates and TV.
Oh, I'm so busy. But I'm not that busy. Now, come on, give me the phone, please.
What for?
I want to fly to Cleveland. I want to call Patty Lane and tell her I'll be there Saturday.
Sammy, you want to work Saturday night after the show? I'll get you a bundle for a club date.
Tat-tat-tat-tat. Remember, no dough. Can't afford it? Give me the phone, huh? Please. Please. Thank you. Now I understand why Dean and Jerry broke up. I'll call her and she'll get a big thrill out of it. You know what a pleasant thing? Money don't mean everything, you know. The number's here and I'll call her. The joy she'll have in those kids at that prom when I be there. Hello? May I speak to Miss Patty Lane, please?
This is Patty Lane.
I understand that you're looking for someone to entertain at your prom Saturday.
That's right. How did you know?
Well, I read about the story in Variety.
In Variety? Who is this?
My name is Sammy Davis.
Sammy Davis?
Well, actually, Sammy Davis, Jr. And I'll be happy to come and sing at your prom.
You're Sammy Davis, Jr.
That's right.
And you want to entertain at the prom?
I certainly do.
Very funny, Richard.
Huh?
I said that's very funny, Richard.
But, Miss Lane, Patty, you don't understand. I am Sammy Davis, Jr.
Yeah, and this is the Gabor sisters, all 3 of them.
Look, please, Patty.
Oh, good night, Richard. On second thought, good night forever.
So busy. Why don't you get off the phone already? Oh, Patty Lane.
Who's Patty Lane? Sammy, baby, you're not still trying to get through to that nutty high school kid.
Look, I'm a little nutty myself.
Sammy, what's with you? All week long you've been dialing this number. It's like an obsession.
Murph, would you get me a Coke, please? Mike, have you ever heard of Captain Ahab?
Captain who?
Captain Ahab.
Ahab?
Well, he was a famous captain in a famous story. And it seemed that he got bugged real bad about a certain Moby Dick.
Moby Dick. You ever play Vegas?
Moby Dick was a big, white, mean whale. See, and this Captain Ahab, he had it in for him. He couldn't sleep, he couldn't eat, he couldn't rest. The only thing he did was run around the ocean, looking for Moby Dick. And that's how I feel about getting Miss Patty Lane on the phone. It's still busy.
Well, you know how kids are when they start gabbing.
Hello, George. It's Patty. I've been trying to get you all night. Your line's been busy.
Yeah. Well, you know how us kids are when we start cabbing, Patty. What's up?
George, it's about the prom.
Oh, it's a sellout, Patty. Everybody will be there tomorrow night.
Swell.
And you know why? They can't wait to see what big, important guest star you've got for us.
I'll bet.
Thanks to you, Patty, it'll be a prom they'll never forget.
George, I want to talk to you about the prom. I think we should call it off.
Call it off? What for? Patty, are you putting me on?
No, George.
Well, then there's only one explanation. You're stuck. You can't get us a big guest star.
That's not true. Of course I can.
You just better, Patty. Because the whole class is going to be there. And if you don't show up with a big, important, famous celebrity, Doomsville. Good night.
I wonder if they let girls enlist in the French Foreign Legion. Hello?
Hello, is this Miss Patty Lane?
Speaking. Who's this?
This is Sammy Davis, Jr.
Oh, come on, not again.
No, wait a minute. Miss Patty, please, don't hang up. This really is Sammy Davis, Jr., and I really, really want to come and sing at your prom.
Why don't you knock it off, Richard? Enough is enough.
You mean you really still don't think I'm Sammy Davis?
Of course I don't.
All right, listen to this. Why can't I fall in love like any other man? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool I am. Now, what do you say?
That I have the exact same record. Of Sammy Davis singing that song. Richard, I think you're mean, hateful, and horrid. And don't bother picking me up for the prom tomorrow night because I won't be going with you.
What?
Patty, will you please stand still until I get this hem back in?
Mom, what difference does it make? I'm not going. Of course you are, Patty. You look lovely. And the condemned man ate a hearty breakfast, so what?
Oh, Patty, the class can't blame you for not getting a celebrity. You tried.
And failed. And you know, I'm getting pretty tired of Richard and his corny jokes. He keeps calling up and saying it's Sammy Davis Jr. dying to sing at the prom. Sammy Davis? Hey.
What now?
I'll bet if I asked Sammy Davis, he would come. Patty, you don't even know him. Well, true, but when I tell him how desperate I am, he's bound to say yes.
Patty, the prom is tonight. I'm sure Mr. Davis has other plans.
Well, he'll cancel them. You know what they say, there's no people like show people.
Honey, will you please stand still and stop dreaming?
I've got to go. Go where? The Majestic Theater. Kathy, call Richard and tell him I'll see him at the prom. I'll be easy to recognize. I'll be the girl with Sammy Davis Jr. Oh, hi, Papa. Bye, Papa.
Where are you off to?
A rendezvous with destiny.
Hi, darling.
Say, what's with Patty?
Oh, she's got some kind of wild idea that she can persuade... I'll get it. Hello?
Hello. May I speak to Miss Patty Lane, please?
I'm sorry, she's out. This is her mother. May I ask who's calling?
Yes, ma'am. This is Sammy Davis.
Sammy Davis?
The real Sammy Davis?
I mean, you do believe I'm Sammy Davis, Mrs. Lane, don't you?
Oh, yes, of course I do, Mr. Davis.
You're all heart, ma'am. I wanted to tell Patty that I'll be at the prom and sing for her tonight.
Well, you're all heart too, Mr. Davis. It's Sammy Davis. He's coming to the prom.
Oh, you really got to hand it to our Patty.
Thank you very much. Bye. He's really coming.
Well, why are you so surprised? You know how charming and persuasive Patty can be.
Oh, she certainly can. She's never even met Sammy Davis. Well, right now, she's on her way to the theater to beg him to come.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. He'll tell her the good news when she gets there.
Yes, young lady?
Oh, hi. I'd like to see Mr. Sammy Davis, Jr.
Sorry, curtain's up. Mr. Davis don't see nobody during a performance.
Oh, but this is very, very important.
Come back after the show.
That'll be too late, please, sir. You see, I have to...
You see that sign up there?
Yeah, it says no smoking.
It says no visitors. Get. I said get. Come to see Sammy win the big fight again, huh?
Time. This'll be fun.
Mr. Davis! Big important day. Like to help you out, fellas. Show business people.
Patty, please come inside.
No, Richard, I can't face the class.
I'll say it again, Patty. They know how hard you tried. They're not mad at you.
No, they merely despise me.
They forgive you, Patty. They want you to come in and have a good time. And besides, I spent $5 for these tickets.
I'm sorry, Richard. You go alone. Go dance with some pretty girl who isn't a jinx.
Who's that singing?
I don't know. It sounds like Sammy Davis, Jr.
Why can't I cast away this mask of clay and live my life? Why can't I fall in love like any other man? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool
Thank you very much. You're marvelous. Gee, I never thought it'd be this much fun. See, I told you guys we'd have a ball. Thank you very much. Thank you. I would just like to explain to you guys and gals that as much fun as it is for me to be here tonight, all my guys came along with me. George Rhodes, my conductor, all the guys that travel with me. So I thank them for coming. And we're going to do one song, because I'm sort of old, you see. But I like to do that kind of jazz, too, you know. So we do one song. Here's a tribute to Ray Charles. Oh. Oh. Good. That's marvelous. Well, I got a woman. She way over town. She good to me. Well, don't you know, yeah. Well, I got a woman. She living over town. Oh, Lord. She good to me. She my baby. Don't you understand? I'm a lover man. Well, I got a woman. She way over town. She good to me. Oh, yeah. She saved her loving early in the morning just for me. Oh, yeah. She saved her loving, early every morning. Oh, don't you know, she do it for me. She give me money when I'm in need. She is the kind of girl I need. Well, I got a woman, she way over town. She good to me. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's always with me, every night and every day. Never fuss or grumble. You know I like it that way. Never walking in the street, leaving me alone. She know a woman place is right there now in my home. I got a woman out of town. Oh, don't you know? She good to me. See, I got a woman. She living over town. Oh, didn't I say she good to me? She my baby. I'm her man. Oh, you can understand. Well, I got a woman. She way over town. She good to me. Oh, don't you know, yeah. Don't you know she all right? She all right, she all right. She all right, she all right. She all right, she all right. Oh. She all right, she all right. She all right, she all right. She all right, she all right. Oh, yeah. Whoa! Yeah! Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're marvelous. Thank you. I would like to say that, unfortunately, I have to leave, but I want to tell you I've had such a pleasure being here tonight, and I owe that pleasure to a young lady who I've actually never met, but I saw her sign outside of my theater window, and her name is Patty Lane. Would Patty Lane, if she's in the audience, would you come up and let me thank you personally, please? You're the lady in the dressing room.
Yeah. How to thank you, Mr. Davis.
I can think of one way how to thank me. Like my agent said, don't give me the $15.
Hello?
Oh, hello. May I talk to Miss Patty Lane, please?
Oh, this is Patty Lane.
Oh, I was reading in Variety that you were looking for someone to entertain at your school dance. And I'd be glad to come.
Who is this?
Peter Lawford.
Come off it, Richard.
Richard?
I recognize your voice this time. Now be a good boy and go to bed. Good night. Coop.
Silly girl doesn't believe it's really me. I'm not going to give up that easily.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn your mind. When cousins are too
Fooled me.
I just got my psychological aptitude test back, and you know where I rank?
Just below the human race.
I came in the top percentile.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's it mean?
That means that I'm practically a genius. My aptitude test showed that I can do anything I put this great mind to. If I'm so brilliant, what are my children going to be?
In trouble.
Where's Kathy? I want to tell her the great news.
She's upstairs with her guinea pigs.
You mean they've been born?
Yeah, the blessed event took place about an hour ago.
That's great! Got to eat something. Hi, Kat. Hello, Patty. What do you think of them? Oh, they're beautiful. I can't believe it, Kathy. You predicted exactly what they were going to look like before they were even born. All I did was investigate the mother and father guinea pig's family history. Then, using a method that was discovered long ago by Gregor Mendel, I took an educated guess as to what the offspring should look like. It's simply the law of genetics. Kathy, this genetics bit, does it work with people, too? Of course. You mean I could predict what my children are going to be like before they're born? Not necessarily. Why not? Well, a lot of it depends on the man you select for your husband.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Now let me get this straight, Kat. You mean as great as I am, I could have terrible children? Not if you selected a man whose genes complemented yours. Oh, I see. Then what I need is someone tall, good-looking, dark hair, sense of humor. Doesn't every girl? This is for science. Gregor Mendel, move over. Richard, can I ask you another question?
I've already told you everything I know about my great-grandparents and my
Yeah, I know,
grandparents.
but this is different.
Say, Patty, why this sudden interest in my family?
What makes you think it's so sudden? I'm just fascinated by all your relatives.
Yeah, they are quite a fascinating bunch.
Yeah. Well, the way you eat, you should be at least 8 feet tall.
I'm lucky enough to be 5'10". I tower over everyone in my family as it is.
Yeah, I know you. You told me. Rich, you know I wouldn't hurt you for anything in the world.
I should hope not. I'm very sensitive.
What I'm trying to tell you is that Gregor Mendel wouldn't approve of you.
Who's he?
Richard, I have to think of my children.
Pass the ketchup.
I can't marry you, Richard.
Pass the mustard, please.
It's nothing personal, Richard. It's just that it's the law of genetics.
Pass the mustard, please.
Richard, you see, your looks really aren't bad. It's just that, well, I doubt if it's what Mendel had in mind for me. I can't afford to take a chance. I have to find somebody who's perfect. You see, if your maternal grandmother and grandfather had had a college education, and your paternal grandmother and grandfather had a higher IQ, and your father was a few...
Hey, now, wait a minute. They're my ancestors you're attacking.
I'm not attacking anybody. It's Mendel. He says that...
I don't care what he says. If my family's not good enough for you, then I'm not good enough for you.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. Oh, excuse me, are you Edward Donaldson?
No. I'm just a member of the Edward Donaldson fan club.
My name is Patty Lane, and I was wondering if you'd help me with a survey I'm making.
Shoot.
Thank you. Let's start with your height. How tall are you, Edward? Edward!
What now?
How tall are you, please?
5'11" and a half.
Perfect.
In the morning.
In the morning?
A person's always taller when they first get up. Read that once in a comic book.
You read comic books?
Sure. Hey, did you see what happened to the mass surfer?
Yeah. He just got washed out. Hi, Kenny.
Oh, hello, Patty. Gee, I haven't seen you since last summer.
Oh, I've been busy.
You know, I asked you for a date in July. You said you'd look in your book and let me know.
I just looked. The answer is yes.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I mean it.
Well, what about Richard Harrison?
Oh, he's okay, but his jeans flunked. Huh? Nothing. Well, you've grown since last year.
Yeah, 3 inches.
Oh, your father must be a giant.
No, there's a very funny part about it. There's no one in my family over 5'5". How about that?
How about that?
Say, when can I take you out to dinner?
I'll look in my book and let you know. Patty, what are you doing? Who, me? What are you doing in that file? I'm looking for something. I found it. I'm trying to find out which boy has the highest IQ. And you know who it is? Rodion Zablinski. Do you know him? No. Neither do I. But I'm going to. I can see him now. Tall. Romantic. Brilliant. Rodion, I love you. How's that sound? Like you're in trouble. Zablinski. Hello, Miss Gray.
Hello, Patty. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Miss Gray, I wonder if you could help me. I'm looking for Rodion Zablinski.
Yes, he's over there.
Thank you. Hello there.
Hello.
You look just like I knew you would.
I do?
Yep. Tell me, Rodion, how...
Oh, you're looking for Rodion. Hey, Ro.
Yeah?
Someone's looking for you.
You looking for me?
Are you Rodion Zablinski?
Yeah?
Rodion, would you stand up, please?
I am standing. Patty, I have to talk to you.
Richard, please don't make it difficult. I told you it's all over between us.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me why.
Just trust me, Richard. It's bigger than both of us.
I suppose you mean Kenny.
Richard, everybody's looking at us.
Oh, have you seen him? Have you seen him? He's coming down the hall.
See who?
Him! And your cousin Kathy's with him.
Hello, Physiology 1.
Hello.
I'm Noble. Now, that's a name, not a characteristic. It must be the material because my delivery isn't that good. Anyway, I'm your substitute teacher. Sorry to say that Mrs. Keeler will be out of action for about a week, a victim of the flu bug. Well, there's no cause for alarm. I've come fully equipped.
I'll say he has.
Mrs. Keeler has given me her assignment book, and I've got a very able assistant, Mrs. Kathy Lane. Now, Mrs. Keeler told me that this is a very fine class, and I'm pleased to be here. I'm sure we'll become very, very good friends.
Don't say that again.
Hi there.
Oh, hi. I didn't know if there was anybody in here.
I was just having my lunch.
Oh, well, if you're busy, I'll...
No, hold on. Now, what can I do for you?
Oh, I'm not sure if there's anything anyone can do for me.
Well, I'm sure it's not all that bad.
I have a problem.
I've gathered that. What's your name?
Patty Lane. I'm Kathy Lane's cousin, you know, your physiology assistant.
Oh, yes, the little girl did the study on the guinea pig. Yes, she's a very gifted girl, Kathy.
Yeah. I just don't dig the genetics bit.
Well, it's really very simple.
Not for me. I need help.
Well, you could always try studying a little harder.
I hardly study now. I mean, I study hard now.
I see. Do you take notes in class?
Like crazy.
Do you ask questions when you don't understand?
Constantly. I've tried everything.
Well, what about an extra credit report?
That's it. Now, why didn't I think of that? I'll do a report just like Kathy's. And you and I can work on it together.
Well, Kathy did a very difficult project.
Oh, I know, but I'm very willing. And if I do a good job, it'll be sure to bring up my grades. And how can I miss with you helping me?
Well, you certainly are very enthusiastic.
Oh, you have no idea.
All right. I can let you use Hilda, my pet rabbit. She should be a mother in about a week's time.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I'll take very good care of her, Mr. Noble. Don't you worry. I'll treat her just as if she was ours.
I'll jot down some family background of hers for you.
Oh, good. Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
At least it'll help you out and give you a start. Now, Patty, feel free to check with me any time if you want any more information on this family background business, right?
Oh, I will. I will. Thank you. Come on, Hilda.
Patty, how are you this morning?
Fine, except for one problem.
Yes?
In order to figure out what Hilda's offspring will look like, I need a little more information. I was wondering about her grandfather on her father's side. You said its fur was dark, but you didn't say exactly what color.
Well, kind of an off brown, as I recall.
I'll bet your grandfather on your father's side had dark hair, too, just like you.
Yes, all the men on my father's side of the family had dark hair for generations.
And on your mother's side?
Well, kind of hard to recall. She had a pretty large family.
Oh. Well, thanks for the information on Hilda.
Right.
See you at lunch.
Right.
And Hilda's father has bright pink eyes. And so does your father. Have bright blue eyes.
Yeah.
What about your grandmother?
What about her?
What color eyes does she have?
Patty, I fail to see the significance.
Just curious. I've become fascinated by genetics.
Oh, very glad to hear that.
And it's all you're doing. Did your grandfather go to college?
Are you sure you're not confusing me with Hilda?
Well, I could never confuse you with anyone.
I can't wait to see that report. I keep expecting you to ask me how far I can jump, or whether or not I can twitch my nose.
Can you?
Eddie, I think you've enough information on Hilda. I suggest you go and finish your chart.
Yes, sir.
Patty,
Yes?
try to remember that figures can lie, and heredity predictions don't always turn out exactly.
Not always. But this one will.
None of us has a chance with you hogging him all the time. Oink. Oh, Patty, if you don't stop acting like a pig about this, it's going to mean war. Well, what'll it be? Are you going to share him or hog him?
Just call me Porky.
Patty! Dear.
I thought we were at war.
Oh, we are. But we want to know just one thing. What's he really like? Well, if anyone knows Mr. Noble, you do.
Mr. Noble is perfect. Absolutely perfect. You know something?
What?
Mr. Mendel would have loved him.
Yes?
I want my girl back.
What's that?
I said, I want my girl back, sir.
Well, who are you and who's your girl?
Patty Lane. And I'm Richard Harrison.
I see.
You can't hit me. You're older than I am.
Now, don't be ridiculous. I don't want to hit you. I want to help.
You do? You want to help me get Patty back?
I'll do everything I can.
I don't think you can help me. She thinks I'm ugly.
Well, Patty said that?
Well, not exactly, but that's what she meant. She thinks all my relatives are apes.
Tell me something, Richard. Has Patty been asking you a lot of questions about your ancestors?
Has she? She's been picking my family tree apart limb from limb. I wish I did. I don't know what's gotten into her.
Well, I have a feeling it's not too serious.
The only way I can get her back is to have plastic surgery and find a new family to adopt me.
I don't think you have to go quite to that extreme.
You mean that you think there's a chance I could get her back?
Yes, I would say so.
Well, what do I have to do?
All you have to do is wait.
For what?
For Hilda to have her babies. Hello, Patty.
I was just going by your room to return this book.
That's a very becoming dress.
Oh, this whole thing, I just threw it on.
Oh, some good news. Mrs. Keeler's coming back on Monday.
Hello, Mr. Noble.
She isn't. I mean, she is? Oh, that's great news. Oh, you'll be teaching one of the other classes, though.
No, I'm afraid not, Patty. I think I'll be leaving.
Leaving? Where will you go?
Well, I've been offered many positions. I could teach in Florida,
Oh, that's too hot.
or Montana,
Too cold.
Chicago.
Too windy. Oh, New York is the perfect climate.
Very pleased that you're happy here.
Oh, don't misunderstand. I could be happy in Florida or Chicago or Montana. I mean, home is where the heart is.
Mm.
Do you like to travel a lot?
Yes.
Did your grandfather like to
Yes, my grandfather liked to travel. My grandmother liked to travel. As a matter of fact, we're a very traveling family.
Groovy. You wouldn't like to come to dinner tonight, would you?
I'm afraid I can't, Patty.
Oh, that's too bad. I think Hilda might have her babies tonight.
Is she really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll be there.
Do you mean it?
Indeed, I do.
Oh, groovy. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, Mr. Noble. You love my family.
Sure I will.
Here's the address.
7 o'clock?
Groovy. I'll go out and buy you a double chocolate fudge cake. See you at 7. How does that look, Mama?
Well, I think it looks lovely, dear.
Oh, you shouldn't have gone to all that trouble for me.
We didn't. We're having a dinner guest.
Oh? Do I know her?
Mr. Noble is coming to dinner.
Well, well. So I finally get to meet the great man.
You will be nice to him, won't you, Papa?
No, I'll be my usual snarling self.
Oh, you love him, Papa. He's really special.
He must be. You haven't talked about anything else all week.
I know I shouldn't ask this, but how's Richard?
You mean poor Richard?
Oh, is that who I mean?
He flunked the gene test.
I'm sorry I asked.
Mr. Noble's here. He's early.
He's probably hungry.
What'll I do?
Try opening the front door.
Yeah. Come in.
Boy, you're all hospitality, aren't you?
Richard, what are you doing here?
You just opened the door and said, come in.
We have nothing to talk about.
Yes, we do. I found out who Gregor Mendel is.
So?
So all your problems are over.
Good. Then can we talk about it tomorrow?
Oh, wait a minute. I'd like to talk about it now. You seem nervous.
Who? Me? Nervous? What have I got to be nervous about? Oh. That must be Alice. Richard, why don't you go out the back door?
You're awful anxious to get rid of me, aren't you?
No. Look, Rich, I'll make a deal with you. You go out the back door now, and I'll meet you tomorrow at the Shake Shop, and we'll really discuss it.
Do you promise?
Cross my heart.
Okay. Tell Alice I said hello to him.
Good evening.
Yes.
How's Hilda?
Hilda? Oh, Hilda's fine. Won't you come in? Mr. Noble, I know exactly how many babies she's going to have and just what they're going to look like. You see, I've really been working on it, and I
Patty.
figured...
Never mind.
Mr. Noble, how do you do? I'm Patty's mother. And this is my husband, Mr. Lane.
How do you do? Nice to meet you. Genetics is a fascinating science. I did some experiments in it when I was a boy.
It really works, too.
Well, only to a degree, honey.
What do you mean?
Your father means it's not an exact science.
It's exact enough for me.
You're a mother. Hilda must have had her babies while we were eating. Hey, Hilda had her babies.
There are going to be 6 of them. 3 dark brown, 3 light brown. 4? That can't be. I had it all figured out.
I guess Hilda had some ideas of her own.
Oh, I think they're darling.
Well, that's not the point, Mama. I scientifically predicted how many there were going to be and what they were going to look like, and I was wrong. Now, I conducted my experiment just like Kathy.
Well, Kathy's didn't always work out right either.
They have to. What about Mendel?
Patty, there are dominant genes and there are recessive genes, and the recessive genes show up pretty much when they feel like it. Now, no one can predict them.
Now you tell me.
Well, I was going to tell you earlier, but I thought it was best that you learn by yourself.
You knew what I was doing all along.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I got a little over-scientific.
Well, science is a pretty wonderful thing, Patty, but there are certain things in life that you can't plan with a computer.
Yes, sir. You know something? I'm kind of relieved.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. Because when it comes right down to Mendel or Richard, I'll take Richard. See you later.
Where are you going, dear?
Richard's picking me up. We're going to the Shake Shop.
So that's on again.
Was never really off, Papa. You know, last night Rich and I had a long talk. You know what we'd like? A beautiful Cape Cod house with a patio and lots of trees in Connecticut near a lake.
So would I.
I'm glad everything's all right with you two.
It couldn't be better. Mendel sure had a lot to learn.
Did he?
Yeah. Statistics aren't everything, Papa. He forgot the magic ingredient.
What's that?
Love. My children may not have blue eyes and black hair, and they may not be geniuses. Do you know what they are going to be?
What?
Mine. All mine.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two.
How does it look? It looks like I'm gonna kill him. What? My brother, the monster, put a live frog in my bed. Have you ever had a frog crawl all over your bare feet? Oh, Patty, don't take it so seriously. It was only a practical joke. It wasn't a funny frog. Look at little Mr. Innocence out there.
Hey, how's it going?
So, he likes practical jokes, does he? What you doing? Just using a little good old American know-how. You'll get him all wet. He's already all wet, Kathy. This'll teach him not to put live frogs in my bed. Ross!
What do you want?
Kathy made some cookies. Come on in and get them.
Okay, come on, gang.
Ross, why don't you get it and bring it out to them?
All right.
Here it comes.
I'm home.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
In a way, it was my fault, Martin. I told her to do it.
You told her to dump a bucket of water on my head?
I told her to defend herself. She was out to get Ross. She had no idea you were going to walk through that door.
Well, that's beside the point. You know, a Swiss finishing school would do wonders for that girl.
Oh, Martin.
Well, it'll only be for 4 or 5 years. She could come and visit us for an hour or two every Christmas.
It's a terrible thing to say, but it was really very funny.
You know how some people are accident prone? I'm disaster prone. Patty, you didn't know your father was going to walk through that door? I should have. It's the Patty Lane law. Put me into any situation that could lead to trouble, and it will. I've never seen your father so angry. What do you suppose he'll do? Oh, he'll erupt like Mount Vesuvius and tell Mommy's going to send me off to some Swiss finishing school. Then he'll come in and tell me he forgives me and never to do it again. Papa, I'd like to say I'm sorry. That booby trap wasn't meant for you.
Yeah, I know it wasn't, Patty. I'm sorry I got so angry. Just that when I came through the door, I wasn't expecting to be hit by a pail of water.
I was as surprised as you were. We were all pretty shocked, Uncle Martin.
Well, I'm going to forget about it this time. I just don't want anything like this ever to happen again.
No, sir, it won't. Excuse me.
Now, what started all of this?
Your son. Why can't you send him off to a Swiss finishing school? Someplace where they have lots of avalanches.
Patty, I am not going to have you and Ross feuding.
Oh, we're not feuding, Papa. He put a live frog in my bed, and I'm just going to get even with him. Once I'm even with him, peace. Now, that's only fair, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Just in the future, watch out for innocent bystanders, okay?
Don't worry, Papa. I will. I'm really sorry.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Gee, sis, is it true that you threw a bucket of water at your own father?
You want to come in this room, knock.
Can I come in?
No.
What are you so mad about?
I'm mad because I'm not an only child.
I'll say one thing for me. The folks sure made a great comeback after having you.
Out.
Not until I get my frog back.
So, you admit you put him in my bed?
I did not. He escaped from my room.
Oh, come on, Ross. What do I look like?
You look a lot like my frog. I'll get back at you.
We'll see who gets even with who.
Whom?
Kathy, what time is Ted picking you up? In about 20 minutes. You're going to be late. Look, I just ran a bath. Why don't you run and jump into it? Oh, would it be all right, Patty? Well, sure. I'm not in any hurry. You go ahead and take it. Thank you. Ted hates to be kept waiting. He really cooks you, doesn't he? Cooks me? Bubbles your hormones. You mean, do I like him? Yes, I do. That's why Patty insisted I have her bath.
Kathy, how was your date with Ted last night?
I don't know, Aunt Natalie.
You were there, weren't you?
Well, yes, I was there. But I'm not sure if Ted was. You see, he hates to be kept waiting, and I was an hour late for my date. Well, you gotta admit, that was pretty funny. A whole bathtub full of gelatin. Oh, you think so? Well, come on, you don't think I did it. Ross did it.
Well, that's right. Blame everything on me just 'cause I'm the youngest.
No one's blaming you for anything, Ross. Patty, I found the gelatin boxes in your closet. So? I was framed. Were you? Don't believe me. All I know is I'll probably never hear from Ted again.
Of course you will. If he's as bright as I think he is, he'll call you.
Well, I gotta go. Richard the Lionhearted is picking me up.
What's so funny?
Nothing.
Lou! Anybody home? Kathy, Ted called. Wants you to go to dance tonight. Call him right away. Hello, Ted. Ted, I'd love to go to the dance with you tonight. What time should I be ready? It's Kathy. You already have a date for the dance? Didn't you just call me? You didn't. Oh, I see. I'm sorry to have bothered you. Goodbye.
Oh, hi, Kat. Ah, there's my pen. I've been looking all over for it.
And now Ted thinks I'm chasing after him just because you left that fake message.
I already told you I didn't make that message. And how about you sewing all my socks together? It took me all morning to get them untangled.
Good. Look at you two quarreling like that. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. And since when did you become the big peacemaker? Well, I've been thinking it over. I've decided it's silly for us to be feuding like this. I mean, we all live under the same roof. Why can't we all be buddies?
Do you really mean that?
Of course I mean it. And just to prove it to you, I fixed some ice cream sundaes. Come on out in the kitchen.
Hey, look at these.
The girls must have made them.
I've got to make some more. Come on.
Well, they do look wonderful, don't they?
Yeah.
I'll have her call. Bye. Kathy, call Ted if you're free for piano concert tonight.
Isn't Ted the boy that Kathy likes so much?
Mm-hmm.
Sound like you were giving him the brush off.
Boys mustn't think girls are too eager.
Should you let me in on all this inside information?
Too late to do you any good. I've already got you. Aren't you glad?
Oh, all right.
Hello, darling.
Hi. You know what you're looking at? The laughingstock of Brooklyn Heights High School. Everybody at school thinks I read comic books.
No, that's nothing. Everyone thinks your mother and I eat shaving cream.
Well, the teacher made me read one of them out loud. This one, Melvin Monster.
Don't you think maybe it's time you start giving up practical jokes, Patty?
Give up? I've just begun to fight. This for me?
Oh, no, that's for Kathy.
Oh, Ted finally called her, huh?
Isn't it nice?
Cassie, call Ted if you're free for piano concert tonight. What's the matter? Well, one can't be too careful these days, can one? You mean you're suspicious of me? I certainly am. Oh, Kathy, I've given all that up. Have you? What about that phony message from Ted I just found downstairs? Phony message? You mean you didn't call him back? I can't call him back because he never called me. Yes, he did, Kathy. You've got to call him. And invite myself to a piano recital with him? No, thank you. Kathy, you're wrong, and I'm going to prove it to you. What are you doing? Saving you from your suspicious self. Patty. Hello, Ted. Hi, this is Patty. Ted, did you just call Kathy? Yeah, she's here. Hold on a minute. Hello. Yes, Ted. I did get your message, but I just got in. Yes, I'd love to go to the piano recital with you tonight. Fine. I see you at 8 then. Does anyone want to apologize to anyone? I certainly do. Thank you, Patty. That's okay. I just want you to know that I'm not the kind of a person who bears a grudge. A grudge? Fulfilling my briefcase with all those comic books. Did you think I did that? Oh, no. I thought Melvin Monster did it. Kathy, I did not put them there. That's okay, Kath. Let's let bygones be bygones. You have a nice time with Ted tonight. Maybe after the piano recital, you'd like to bring him back here and impress him with some of your piano playing. I just might do that. Good. Thank you for a wonderful evening, Ted.
Oh, it was my pleasure, Kathy.
I really enjoyed the recital very much.
Yeah. I think I like piano music better than anything else in the world.
Do you? Ted, would you like to come in for a sandwich or something?
Sure, why not?
Right this way.
Do you have a piano?
Yes.
Well, I hear you're a great pianist.
Oh? Who told you that?
Patty. She said I had to hear you play.
Oh, I'm really not that good.
Oh.
Well, I did study with Professor Dansinger in Holland, and I won a scholarship at the London Conservatory of Music.
Oh, you must be great. Would you play something for me?
You'd really like me to?
Do you play Chopin?
Yes, of course.
The Nocturne?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Excuse me. Hello, Patty. Hi, Kat. Did you have a nice evening? Oh, yeah, it was great. We went to the movies. Saw The War of the Moon Men. How was your concert? Lovely, thank you. Did Ted come back to the house with you? Yes, he did. He sure is a bug about piano music, isn't he? Isn't he? Did you play for him? No. No? I thought you... You thought what? Oh, nothing. You really ought to play for him soon. Oh, I will. I'm beat. I can't wait to get into the sack and conquer off. What's the matter? Kathy, there's a tarantula in my bed. I can't think it could be poisonous. Let me know if it's fatal. You played for him. Good night, Betty.
Son, into the middle of Central Park. Nice little green man gets out.
Kathy, could I see you a minute, please?
Patty, how do you turn off the stove?
Can't that kid do anything himself? I'll help him. Thanks, Kath.
Go, Bill. I didn't stop you earlier because I assumed you were all mature enough to behave in a responsible fashion and solve your own problems. Well, I was obviously mistaken. Now, I don't know where you got the impression that this house was the set for a Mack Sennett comedy, but I want to correct that notion right now. Whatever started this lunacy?
I'll tell you what started it. Ross put a frog in my bed.
I did not. Henry got there all by himself. And she tried to pour a bucket of water over me. Her only brother.
Have you ever tried to empty a bathtub full of gelatin? It took me over an hour. It's better than cleaning your face with glue or drinking goldfish.
Or eating shaving cream?
I'm sorry about that. But what about those comic books?
I'm sorry about that.
You?
We were trying to fight fire with fire.
What about the piano? What about the tarantula?
What about the seltzer in the face?
What about a truce? You know, it's funny how a little thing can snowball, isn't it? Somebody misunderstands an action or a word, and instead of sitting down and discussing it, they attack. We'd all be a lot better off in this world if we'd try to work things out with one another instead of blasting away with dynamite or something bigger.
I'm sorry, Uncle Martin. I behaved very badly. Not as bad as I did.
And I was worse than both of you put together.
I'm sorry, Ross. I apologize.
That's okay. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, all's well that ends well, I always say.
You know what I always say?
What?
There will be no television, movies, or dating for the next week. And that goes for all of you.
But, Papa, I have a date with Richard tonight.
Well, I don't think Richard will be going out either. You see, he fixed his father one of your shaving cream sundaes. Mr. Harrison is still blowing bubbles.
Henry! Henry! Come here, boy. Henry! Henry!
Did you lose something?
Henry, my frog. I can't find Henry.
Oh, I'm sure he'll turn up.
Henry.
I guess Papa was right. It was getting a little out of control. But it was fun while it lasted. But I'm glad it's all over. Yeah, so am I. Well, good night, Kath. Good night, Patty. What's the matter? You said it, Buster. Now, here's my plan. Tonight, while Ross is sleeping, we're gonna shave off his hair, paint him blue. From now on, I'm fixing all his lunches myself, and tomorrow I'm gonna give him a ride off to the town.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Kathy, have you seen my curlers? Oh, they were on your dresser, Patty. I know. What could have happened to them? The monster. Who? Ross. He's done it again. Ross! Ross!
Shh, not so loud. My hamster's asleep.
Did you take my curlers again?
I only borrowed them for a little while.
I told you to keep your hands off them. Oh, that monster! I'm gonna fix him for this. That's the third time he's done it this month. Well, he said he couldn't get any reception without the curlers. Yeah. I wish I could persuade him to join the Peace Corps. I'd love to see him in Timbuktu. You would not. Oh, yes, I would, cousin. Look. His school assignment book. Maybe we can find some incriminating evidence against him. This should make interesting reading. Listen to this. My sister. I've got him right where I want him. There's no one like my sister in the whole world. She is wonderful and kind and unselfish. My sister really loves me. She helps me with things that are important to me. I'm going to enter the midget derby this Saturday, and my sister is building me a racing car. We are going to call it Lightning. I don't know of any other sister in the world who would do that. Gee. I wonder why he said I was building him a racer. He was just dreaming out loud, Patty. Look, there's an A at the top of the page. Do you know what that means? It means he got an excellent. Oh, it means more than that. It means he turned it into his class. He wanted them all to think that his wonderful, kind, unselfish sister was building him a midget racer. And you know something? I am.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
I tell you this will make a perfect seat for him. And I tell you it's too small. Well, I'm going to prove that you're wrong. What are you doing? Proving you're wrong. Okay, Russ. There we go. Well? Well, the box is fine. Ross is too big. There. There what? Where's your imagination? Can't you see Ross sitting in that? Proud, his head held high, whizzing past the others. There he goes. He's out in front. Comes to the finish line. He wins! Listen to the cheers. Patty, there's no car. Rome wasn't built in a day. Now, we need a frame to go under the seat. Let's see. We need some kind of strong boards for
Oh, Nat, I'll probably be a little late for dinner tonight. The UN Committee on Human Relations is holding a press conference.
We could use a committee on inhuman relations around here.
What do you mean?
Oh, I don't like the way Patty and Ross are getting along. She's been yelling at him a lot lately.
Oh, I'll have a little talk with her tonight. Well, have a good day.
Goodbye, dear. You too.
There. Now it's beginning to look more like a car. With your imagination, you should be writing science fiction. Now we have to nail the seat to the boards. We'll have to build the whole thing out here and keep it covered up so Ross won't know what's going on. All right. Patty, are you really going to send Ross down a hill in that? It's the only kind thing I've ever done for him, Kath. I want him to get in this and win that race. It means a lot to him. He was right about one thing. What's that? He does have a wonderful sister. Thanks. Sometimes I wish I had taken shop. Yeah. You know, it would have come in a lot handier than home economics. But I never really thought it would come up. There we are. Give me a hand, Pat. There we go. Okay. Now, let's try it out. Come. It's a winner. I can feel it. What about wheels? That comes next. As I can see it, the problem is to find some kind of a thing to attach the wheels to the car with and still leave them loose so that they can turn. Fortunately, it's already been invented. It's called an axle. That's right. That's that long rod where you put the wheels on both ends. How does it look? Well, it's going to make the car awfully wide. Well, who wants a narrow car? Good. Great. It's gonna be great. But we'll just have to find a wheel to match one of these. That's right. I bet you can begin to get the feel of it, can't you? Yes, I certainly can. Let's give it a little test run, huh? Fine. Are you all right? They don't build them like they used to. Hello? Oh, hi, Rich. No, I can't go. I'm busy. I'm working on a project. Well, no, I can't make any plans for the rest of this week. I'll be free after Saturday. Righto. Bye. Aren't you going to the game? Oh, there'll be other games. But you were looking forward to this one. I can always go to a game. Let's get on with this. Do you really think we can build it by Saturday? We've got to. If we don't, Ross got an A under false pretenses. Well, I think it's great.
I see Aunt Kate has sent her annual basket of peaches from the farm.
Oh, yes. We're going to be having lots of peaches for a while.
You know, I like peach pie.
Wait until you taste my peach soup.
Patty? What do you want?
I was wondering if you weren't too busy. Maybe you could help.
Well, I am busy. Now, just get out.
But
I said out. I want privacy. Keep away from this patio. I told you I didn't want to see you in the patio again.
well, all I wanted was.
I said out. Now, come on, be it.
Okay.
What's gotten into Patty?
I don't know.
Well, you know, she sounds like she really hates Ross. Is everything all right, son?
Sure. Fine.
Did you do anything to upset Patty?
Yeah. I breathed. She just can't stand having me around.
We'll see about that.
I sure hated to talk to a winning racer that way, but I had to keep him away from here. Then it will all be worth it when he sees the car. You bet it will.
Patty!
Yeah, Papa?
I want to talk to you for a minute, Patty.
Oh, could it wait? I'm kind of busy right now.
No, it can't wait. What I have to say to you is much more important than anything you're doing. Kath, would you excuse us a minute, please?
Certainly, Uncle Martin.
Patty, you're an individual, and you're treated with respect around here. Now, I think everyone in this household is entitled to the same consideration.
What have I done, Papa?
It's what you haven't done. You're not being much of a sister to Ross.
I'm trying.
But I hear you yelling at him, and all he wanted to do was be out here with you.
I know, but it was kind of an inconvenient time.
But Ross has just as much right to the use of this house as you have. Now, is that understood?
Yes, sir.
And I don't want to ever hear you order him off of this patio again. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
You know, I think that having a brother or a sister is one of the greatest privileges in the world. You should appreciate it more.
I know.
Well, I can't force you to love your brother, but I do intend to see that you respect him.
I do, Papa.
Now, it's time you started acting like it. I want you to think this over, so you go on up to your bedroom. And you stay there.
Did you get it? I got it. It's hidden around the corner. How am I going to get it in the house? Well, I think the folks are going out tonight. We'll sneak it in then. Patty, I can't handle this without you. Why don't you tell your parents what you're doing? Because I don't want anyone to know about this. It's our project and we're going to do it by ourselves.
You haven't touched your lunch.
I wasn't hungry.
I had a talk with your father. If you think you can treat your brother civilly in the future, it won't be necessary for you to stay in your room any longer.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'd like to say one thing more. I'm very disappointed in you, Patty.
Patty, for heaven's sake, will you let me tell them? No. This has got to be a surprise. Come on, we've already wasted a whole day. We don't have to wait till tonight. We can bring it in now. Come on, Kathy.
What have you got there?
Where?
Right behind you, Miss Innocence.
Oh, that? Just a baby carriage.
A baby carriage? Do you mind if I look at it?
Not at all, Uncle Martin.
What's under that?
Under what? It's just something Patty and I are building.
Well, it's beautiful. What is it?
It's a racing car.
You're interested in racing?
Not exactly. It's for Ross. Oh, but please don't tell him. It's supposed to be a surprise.
Patty, what makes you think Ross wants a racing car?
He wants it more than anything in the world. Here's a school assignment book.
This is why you were yelling at Ross not to come out here on the patio. You didn't want him to see the car.
Little monster almost caught us.
Patty, why didn't you tell me about this?
You always taught me that when you're doing something nice for someone, you don't go around advertising it.
Boy, I owe you an apology. Maybe several.
That's okay, Papa. You won't tell him, will you?
I won't tell him.
Thanks. Then it's all right if we finish it, Uncle Martin?
It's all right if you finish it. You know, I think you could use another mechanic around here. Do you think you'd let me become a member of the team?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really beginning to look like a car. You're a genius, Papa.
Oh, it's your car, Patty. I'm just helping a little.
I can't wait to see Ross's face when he sees this.
Can Nick and me have something to eat?
Nick and I, yes, you may have something to eat, but first, would you ask your father to come in for a moment, dear? I think he's out in the patio.
Sure. Dad?
What are you doing out here?
I just came out, didn't
Well, you can just go back inside again. You got the whole house to play in, or you can go play with some of your friends.
But, Dad...
I don't want you out here in this patio again. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, get inside then. Poor kid, I hated to yell at him like that, but we can't let him stay out here, right?
Right. He's an inquisitive little devil.
Yeah.
I think you better get him yourself, Mom. He threw me out.
I'll be right back.
Gee, you're not very popular around here, are you? That's the way it is with me at my house.
Martin!
What is it, Nat?
Say, what's going on here?
Oh, well, the girls and I were just, we were just having a little talk.
That's my good sheet. And my shelves, and my curtain rods, and my peach basket. And what's that?
All right to tell her?
I guess we have to.
Patty, I don't care what's going on. You're in trouble. Patty, you're out of trouble. I'm very proud of you.
Mom, you won't breathe a word to Ross, will you?
On one condition.
What's that?
You let me help.
Sure.
I guess we could use another worker.
There isn't much time. The race is Saturday.
Well, let's get to work.
Okay.
Mom, Nick wants to know if it...
What are you doing out here? I heard your father tell you to stay inside.
I live here, don't I?
You go play in the house. I don't want to see you out here again.
But all
Right now.
Okay, it's your patio. But from now on, no one's ever gonna set foot in my room again.
Where are you going to run away to this time?
I don't know. I thought maybe your house.
Won't your folks come and get you there?
It'll be 3 or 4 months before they even realize I'm gone.
I guess I could hide you in my room. And And at night I'll smuggle food up to you.
Is your mom a good cook?
Fair. She makes pretty good lasagna.
My mom's a great cook. Maybe your mom could get some recipes from her.
Yeah.
How do you like that? Headlight.
It's really beginning to look like a racer. What was the name he wanted on his car? Lightning?
Yeah.
I think Patty should have the honor of painting that on.
Thanks, Papa.
Boy, it's amazing how you can get so much stuff in one lifetime.
Aren't you going to say goodbye to your folks?
What folks?
I'm sure they love you. They just don't know how to communicate.
They've grown tired of me. You know what they say. Familiarity breeds contempt.
I guess so.
First it was Patty, then my dad. But I mean, when your own mother turns against you, what have you got left?
Lasagna.
Well, there it is.
Gee, that looks wonderful.
It certainly does.
Are we ready for the unveiling?
I would say so. Do you want to get Ross?
I sure do. Ross! Oh, hi, Nick.
Hi.
Papa wants to see you in the patio.
There must be some mistake. My name is Ross Lane. I'm not allowed in the patio.
Who says so?
Half the population of New York.
Gee, sensitive.
Because I don't like to be screamed at all day and all night? Well, I'm going where people are kind.
There are some pretty kind people in the patio. Why don't you go see what Papa wants?
All right. Then I'll be free. Come on, Nick.
Here he comes.
Is it all right for me to come into the patio?
It certainly is.
It's your patio, too, you know.
Not anymore. I'm running away from home. I'll drop you a line as soon as I've saved enough money to buy a stamp.
Before you go, there's something we'd like to show you.
It's a car.
Boy, a midget racer.
And look at the name on it, Ross. Lightning.
Yeah, that's a nice name for a car.
I'll say.
Ross, this is going to win the Derby on Saturday.
Yeah? Who's going to be driving it?
You are.
What for?
What for? It's your dream.
Hey, Ross, guess what? I found my notebook. I've been looking all over for it.
Nick, did you say your notebook?
Yeah. And do you want to hear something incredible? I wrote about that racer.
Well, it was fun while it lasted. What are we going to do with the extra car?
What extra car?
Well, there's the one outside and the one your sister built for you.
Are you kidding? Dracula wouldn't lift a finger for me.
What about all those nice things you wrote about her?
I was going to leave it where she'd find it, hoping she'd feel ashamed of herself and help me build the car.
He laid a trap for someone else and Stupid Head fell into it.
Oh, don't feel bad, Patty. I appreciate what you did for me, even if it wasn't for me.
Why don't we give the car to Nick?
Do you mean it?
Certainly we do.
That's a great idea, Kath.
Gee, I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. Just go out there and win for us.
I will. I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
To pack my suitcase. I want to move into your house.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk
alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
And furthermore, Patty Lane, your conduct and behavior last night was rude, thoughtless, inconsiderate, and crummy.
Hello, Richard.
Oh, hi, Kathy. Sit down.
Thank you. Who were you talking to?
I was just rehearsing what I'm going to say to a certain fickle cousin of yours, if she ever shows up. She's already 40 minutes late.
Oh, dear.
Did you see the way she carried on with that gigolo?
It didn't mean anything, Richard. Richard, don't be angry at Patty. You know how much she loves to dance, and that boy was such a good dancer. Somebody should answer that. Excuse me. Hello, Shake Shop. Oh, hello, Shake Shop. Do you happen to know of a boy named Richard Harrison? Yes, I do, Patty Lane, and he's here waiting for you. Oh, hi, Kat. Where are you? At the Carlos Palomar Dance Studio. At the what? It's a place where they teach ballroom dancing. Rudy's father owns it. Who is Rudy? That groovy boy at the Shake Shop last night. Kathy, he's teaching me the Oopa Doopa. Oopa Doopa? What is that? What's the ultimate? Rudy does it sweeping the jet set. And what about Richard? Well, that's why I called, to tell him I can't meet him. Patty, you can't do that. I know it's awful, Kathy, but how can I pass up this chance to learn the Oopa Doopa? Is that what you want me to tell Richard? No. No, tell him I came down with a bug or something. Patty. Thanks a million, Kat. Bye. Patty, don't... She isn't feeling well.
Well, what's the matter with her?
She's come down with a bug.
Gosh. I better get over there and keep her company.
No. She was just about to go to bed.
Poor kid. I thought she was throwing me a twist.
I'm sorry your evening is ruined.
I was going to take her to see the Charlie Chaplin revival. After she apologized. All the time, the poor kid was sick.
Very.
Do you like Chaplin?
Oh, yes, very much.
Oh, why don't I take you?
Me?
Well, it's better than nobody. I'd like you to come.
I'd love to see it, Richard. All right. But we'll go Dutch.
Dutch? It's like we didn't have a date.
Exactly.
Good. You pay your check and let's get out of here.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. I had a lovely evening.
Oh, I had a great time. You know something, Kath? You're fun.
Thank you, Richard.
Somebody just came in.
It's probably Uncle Martin. Richard, you can go out the back door if you like.
Hi! Who's in the kitchen?
It's Patty.
Boy, I'm starting. Hi, Rich.
Patty, why aren't you in bed?
Bed? What for?
Oh, getting over that bug.
Oh, yeah, the bug. The bug. I was in bed, but I couldn't sleep, and so I thought I'd get some fresh air. It's awful hot in here. That depends upon where you're standing.
Carlos Palmardin Studios. Oh, where'd you get that?
The man was handing them out on the corner.
I didn't see any man. Patty, where were you?
I was in bed, and then I got this emergency call from the USO.
USO?
Yeah. See, they said they needed some girls to go down and learn the latest dance steps so that they could teach them to the soldiers before they send them overseas. I don't believe it either.
I want the truth, Patty. Did that snaky cat you were dancing with last night take you to this dance studio?
Yeah. His father owns it.
Patty, you lied to me.
Yeah. I guess you could call it that.
Pretending to be sick? Getting me all upset?
So upset you went to see Charlie Chaplin.
I knew you wouldn't want me home worrying.
No, of course not. I'm glad you had such a delightful evening. Patty, it wasn't Richard's fault that you broke the date.
I'll say the least you can do is apologize for what you did.
Oh, sure, I'm sorry.
You're not.
Yes, I am.
You don't sound sorry.
Okay, then I'm not sorry. Patty, Richard, stop this, please.
No, Kath, it's too late. I get the whole picture. As far as Patty's concerned, I'm just a doormat, a football to be kicked around. Well, I've had it. I am through. All I have to say to you is one word. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Richard.
I only wish I'd given you my fraternity pin so I could tell you to give it back.
Patty, how could you do that? He'll get over it. He always does. That's not the point. No, that isn't the point. I'm mean, rotten, and wicked, and Richard is a sweet, lovable little mouse. Could a mouse like Richard teach me to do this?
Girls, would you mind doing the dishes and tidying them up? I'm late for the hairdresser.
Can do. Bye, Mom.
Thanks. See you at dinner.
Goodbye, Aunt Natalie.
Bye, Mom.
Okay, Ross, on the ball. KP time.
You know, I read an article in the newspaper. It said that when a man does women's work, subconsciously she resents it.
Well, maybe we do, subconsciously. But unless you want a kick in the pants, consciously,
I'll get it.
anything to beat the rap.
Hello? Oh, hi, Richard.
I told you you'd come crawling back.
You want to speak to Kathy? Just a sec. Oh, Kathy, it's for you. It's Richard.
Are you sure?
That's what he said.
Patty, you talk to him. What for? He asked for you.
What's with you and Richard?
I broke a date with him, so he walked out on me.
He's smarter than I thought.
Well, that's very sweet of you, Richard, but I'm afraid I can't. No, not tomorrow night, or any other night. Richard, why don't you come by tonight and have a talk with Patty? All right, if that's the way you feel about it. But no, thank you. Goodbye, Richard. Patty, Richard asked me for a date. Oh? What'd you say? I said no, of course. I don't see why. He's available. Not really. He happens to be yours. Not after last night, so why not date him? You want me to go out with Richard? Why should I mind? I expect to be seeing a lot of Rudy. Oh, what if Richard became interested in me? That's not very likely. Oh, it isn't. Look, Kath, you said it yourself. Richard belongs to me whenever I decide I want him back. And meanwhile, poor Kathy should live it up while she can. Well, it's not as if you had scads of boys after you. Excuse me, I have a telephone call to make. Hello, Richard. It's Kathy. I've changed my mind. I'd love to go bowling with you tonight. I'll see you at 8 o'clock. Goodbye.
Atta girl, Kathy, you sure?
Fiend, were you eavesdropping in the hall?
Certainly not. What do you think I am? I was hiding in the closet.
You see, it's all in the wrist and keeping your eye on the pins.
I'll try to remember that.
Plus, natural coordination. Either you have it or you don't.
And you have it, Richard. Anyone can see that.
Yeah, I guess I do. I say something funny?
Oh, I was just thinking about how I forgot to let go of the bowling ball.
Oh, yeah, that was a riot.
Hello, Patty. Hi, Kath. Hi, Rich. How was your evening?
Terrific.
Richard's teaching me how to bowl.
She's quite a little pupil.
I'll bet she is. Would you like to sit down, Patty? No, thanks, Kath. I was just about to make a phone call.
Carlos Palomar Dance Studio. Good evening. Carlos Palomar at your service.
Hi. Could I talk to Rudy, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Rudy's giving a lesson.
Oh, would you tell him Patty Lane called?
Sure. You want to leave your number?
No, Rudy has it.
You're telling me. My boy Rudy's got more girls' numbers.
Oh, really?
You're that cute blonde he's been dating, no?
No, I'm not. And never mind the message, okay?
Okay. Goodbye.
He was never that funny when I dated him.
Hey, where'd you dig that?
Oh, boy taught it to me. Would you like to learn how it goes?
Some other time, Patty. I'm with Edna.
Oh, hi.
Don't they make a lovely couple?
Charming.
Oh, I'm sure you don't mind. It's It's all in the family.
Exactly.
Oh, and anytime you want Richard back, all you have to do is lift a finger.
That one.
Yes. Oh, Richard's yours. Anybody can tell just by looking at him.
So what's keeping Patty and Kathy? They said they were ready 20 minutes ago.
Well, they should be down in a minute. If you want to live to school, you better hurry.
Well, at least you're ready. What are those girls doing?
Patty's fixing her hair again, and Kathy's changing her dress again.
All that fuss just for school?
Not exactly. They're in triangles, Phil.
Where are they in English?
Patty and Kathy are after the same boy.
A new boy?
An old boy, Richard.
Patty's Richard?
Correction. Patty's ex. And now he's making a scene with Kathy. So Patty's bugged.
It's amazing. All this primping and plotting just for Richard Harrison.
Yeah. Ain't love peculiar?
Spooky, man.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, Uncle Martin. I'm ready. So am I.
Hey, that's a cuckoo sweater.
Kathy knitted it for me.
I like the tie, too.
Gift from Patty.
Boy, what a setup. They're both like your slave.
Personal magnetism. Either you've got it or you don't. Say, did you see what ankled in?
Oh, Lola, she's the greatest.
Maybe I'll give her a whirl.
Relax, Richard. You got a girl. 2 of them.
Right, but why not try for 3?
Lola, Richard, Lola's out of your league. She dates college men.
Shall we say she used to?
He's like irresistible.
Hello, Richard.
Oh, hi, Kathy.
I see you're wearing my sweater.
Yes, it sure is warm. See you around, Ken.
Hi, Rich.
Hi, Patty.
I was hoping you'd be here.
I was just leaving.
Oh.
Take it easy.
He hasn't even talked to me in a week. Me either. Did you see them in the lunchroom today?
No. He was waiting on her hand and foot.
In your tie and my sweater. I don't get it. How did that mouse find enough nerve to date a campus queen like Lola?
It was our fault, Patty.
Our fault? We built him up too much. We created a romantic image and he believed it.
Yeah. We made him feel secure. That's fatal in a man.
I'm sorry I tried to take him away from you, Patty.
Wasn't your fault, Kathy. Practically threw him at you. And look where he landed. Right in Lola's lap.
Do you mind very much losing Richard?
Mm-hmm. Now that he's a snake, he's kind of irresistible.
I know what you mean.
Don't worry, Kathy. You'll get over him.
Oh, I suppose so. In time. You know what the psychologists say? If you want to get something out of your system, you should express yourself. What do you mean? The quickest way for you to get over Richard is to tell him what an absolute heel you think he is and that you never want to see him again.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
You've got to, Kath. It's the only way. Blast his ears off.
I just couldn't do it, Patty.
But why don't you?
Oh, I'd love to. But I'm afraid that deep inside I've still got it for him. Well, I guess I'll wash my hair and call it a night.
Me too. But you go first. Thanks, Kath.
Well, at least we're back on the beam, huh?
Right. Shame on you, you cut-rate Casanova. If Patty had any sense at all, she'd take her own advice and tell you off. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what she's going to do. Boy, I wish Kathy were really tough enough to blast him. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what she's going to do. Oh, dear. You listen to me, Richard. Hi, Lou.
Hi, Patty.
Have you seen Rich around?
Yeah, he's over there waiting for a... He's over there.
Thanks. Rich, I want a word with you.
Sure, Patty. Sit down.
No, thank you. I just want you to know that you're a two-timing, fat-headed, girl-crazy heel, and you're never, never, never to talk to me again. Do you understand?
Okay, Patty, I get the point.
What's more, I want my tie back. Never mind.
Wow, she was like a hurricane.
Richard, I want a word with you. Richard, I want a word with you.
Fortunes of war, dear boy. A man in the world must expect these, incidents.
You can say that again. And you better say it fast.
Excuse me. Richard, I want a word with you.
Sure, Kathy.
You've behaved abominably, and I'm sorry I ever set eyes on you, and I never want to see you again. Do you hear?
Okay, you're getting through.
And what's more, give back that sweater.
Wow, 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 it ain't all jam being irresistible.
You know the saying, you can't make omelets without breaking the eggs.
You're cool.
Why not? After all, I still have Lola.
Want to bet?
Oh, hi, Lola. I've been waiting for you over an hour.
Flake off, Junior. The first team's back in town. Last chance, girls. Do you want to come to the movies with us?
Can't, Mom. Kathy's clobbering me.
Have fun.
Thank you.
I'll tell you who did it.
Good night.
Well, hello, Richard.
Hi, Mr. Lane. Are the girls home?
They're in the living room. See you later, Richard.
I doubt it. Like hi.
It's your move, Patty.
I just came by to apologize for behaving like such a cut-rate Casanova. I suppose it'll be years and years before you even want to talk to me again. I can't blame you. I just want to say I'm sorry.
Your move, Cat. No, Patty. It's your move. Good night, Richard.
Good night, Kathy. Well, what happens now?
Why don't we start all over again, huh?
Hey, that's a great idea.
Hey, Rich, there's a big dance Saturday night, and I thought you and I could... maybe you better take some lessons in the Oopa-Doopa. Hey, I could get you a discount at Carlos Palomar's dance studio. Rich, by the time they get through with you, you won't know it's you. You'll be beautiful.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's
Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of us.
I'm home.
Hi, Papa.
Hi, honey. How was school today?
Oh, I can't talk about it now, Papa. I'm on my way out and I'm late.
Oh.
Well, hello, darling.
Hello, Nat. Say, why is it that Patty's always rushing off somewhere? She's never at home anymore. I've never seen anybody run around like that.
Oh, don't you remember when you were that age?
I was never that age.
Oh, it's hard to remember, but we all were. We always had a million things to do, and there were never enough hours in the day.
Yeah, but in our day, we had to spend some time at home. I mean, the only time I know I have a daughter is when I get my phone bill.
Aren't you pleased that Patty's popular?
Well, of course I am. But she's popular with me, too. You know, I'd like to sit down sometime and spend a whole evening with my daughter.
Well, that'd be nice.
I'd like to find out how she's doing in school, what her problems are, what she looks like.
I'm sure she'd enjoy that.
Maybe I should make an appointment with her.
Now, it's not as bad as all that.
Do you know the last time that I sat down with Patty and had a heart-to-heart talk with her?
No.
Neither do I. Well, we're going to have one tonight.
Oh, but darling,
My daughter and I are going to spend the whole evening together, talking, exchanging ideas.
Bye.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Don't tell me. You're running away from home.
No, I'm spending the night at Wendy's. Mama said it was okay. Do you mind, Papa?
Oh, I don't mind. It's just that, well, I had thought that you and I could spend a little time together this evening.
What for?
I didn't know we had to have a reason. I just thought it might be fun to talk.
Oh, well, we can talk anytime, Papa. But not tonight. Wendy's having a slumber party and everybody's going to be there and I'm already late.
Well, it'll be all right tomorrow night.
Well, tomorrow night, Rich and I are going to an ice hockey game.
Oh.
Would you like to come?
Your father catches cold at hockey games.
Oh, that's too bad. See you in the morning, Mama.
Good night, darling.
Papa.
Bye-bye.
Well, it's getting late.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to enjoy my daughter before she gets married and leaves home.
Well, I didn't mean that kind of late. I meant I have a PTA meeting, and I'd better get going.
Oh, you have a meeting tonight. See, there's an interesting new art exhibit over at the DeMere Gallery. I just thought maybe we could go on over there and see it.
Oh, I can't miss this meeting, darling. I'm the chairman. We'll go another night.
Sure.
Your dinner's in the oven. All you have to do is heat it. You'll be all right, won't you?
Oh, of course I will. I'm a grown man.
I'll be home early, grown man.
Hello, Uncle Martin.
Oh, hello, Kath. See, are you interested in seeing a new exhibit at the DeMere Gallery?
Very much.
Good.
Rock is taking me.
Oh.
Would you like to join us?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Thank you, though.
Well, I'd better be going. Rock is very sensitive about being kept waiting.
Well, good night, Kath.
Good night, Uncle Martin. I believe there are some good television programs on tonight.
Now, don't you worry about me, Kathy. I mean, I don't have to watch television to be entertained. I'm perfectly capable of entertaining myself.
Good night, Uncle Martin.
Good night.
Night, Cat.
Oh, hi, son.
Hi, Dad.
Listen, how'd you like to go to the movies tonight with me?
I can't. I'm going to a rumble.
A rumble?
Yeah, the Boy Scouts against the Girl Scouts. So long.
U.S. Weather Bureau forecast for New York City. Early rain, partly cloudy, cool. Temperature range 34 to 48. East winds of gale force at 20 to 35 miles per hour. Tomorrow.
Hi, Papa.
Oh, hello, Patty. Listen, I made a point of getting home early tonight so that you and I could spend a little time together.
Oh, gee, that sounds great, Papa. I'd love to, but Rich is picking me up to go to the hockey game, remember? I can't find my gloves.
Oh, hello, darling. You're home early. Anything wrong?
No, everything's fine.
Say, we can go to that art exhibit tonight if you'd like.
Why don't we skip that tonight? I'm feeling a little tired.
You look a little tired. Come on, sit down. Relax.
Oh, well, I'm all right, really, you know.
Martin, I think you've been working much too hard lately.
Well, it has been a pretty rugged week.
It's been a pretty rugged year. You can't go on pushing yourself like this, darling. You're not getting any younger, you know. Why don't you take a little nap before dinner?
I'm too tired to nap.
Hey, sis, aren't you going to that hockey game with Richard?
No, Ross, I'm staying home tonight.
Well, you can go to a hockey game? What's the matter with you?
Not me. Have you ever taken a good look at that poor little old man down there?
What poor little old man?
Your father. How much longer can he have to live?
Ages.
Oh, don't let that brave expression on his face fool you. Deep down inside, he's a worn-out shell. He's been trying to tell me, but I wouldn't listen.
Trying to tell you what?
Keeps asking me to stay home, not to go out. It's pitiful. And I wouldn't listen. I said, I'm too busy, Papa. I've got to go to a slumber party and a hockey game.
Oh, Patty, you've got your life to lead, and he's got his.
Well, from now on, it's going to be different. I'm going to be a real daughter to him. I'm never going to leave his side.
Good luck, Dad.
I'll get it. Hi, Rich.
You're not going like that, are you? You'll freeze.
I'm not going at all, Rich.
What do you mean you're not going at all? I already paid for the tickets.
You're the last of the great romantics.
My father worked hard for my money.
There is something a little more important in life than money.
Yeah? What?
Love.
We're staying in tonight?
Get that glint out of your eye. I meant the love of a father for his daughter.
Well, I don't feel that way about you.
I should hope not. But my father does. Look at him, Rich.
Looks fine to me.
Look at all those gray hairs. Yes, 7. I counted them.
So what, 7 gray hairs?
The beginning of the end. It's nature's way of saying you've had it.
I guess when they start to get decrepit, they go pretty fast.
It's pitiful.
What am I going to do with the extra ticket?
Why don't you take Sue Ellen?
Are you serious?
Oh, why not? I can't see you for a while, maybe a whole year.
You mean you're going to spend the next year with your father?
Richard, he's dedicated his whole life to me. It's the least I can do for him.
It's funny, Patty. I always say that nothing you do can surprise me, but it always does. I'll go to the game alone.
Richard.
Oh, I changed my mind. I thought maybe I'd stay in and we could talk.
Sure, honey. What you have on your mind?
Nothing. What do you have on your mind?
Nothing. Oh, you mean you just want to talk?
That's right.
Well,
You know, Papa, we're like ships that pass in the dining room. We see each other, but we never really get a chance to sit down and get to know one another. You know what I mean?
I certainly do.
Well, from now on, that's all going to be different. We're going to discuss everything. Really communicate. What'd you like to talk about?
Everything. Boys, school, your problems, your ambitions. How much time do we have?
About a year.
Dinner will be ready in 5 minutes. Feeling better?
I'm feeling great. I just had a nice talk with Patty.
Patty who?
Our Patty.
I thought you went out with Richard.
No. She decided to stay home and spend the evening with her father.
Is she feeling all right?
She's feeling fine. We had a very nice chat.
Oh, about what?
Oh, about everything. For instance, did you know that Patty is up for the lead in the new school play?
Yes?
Well, I didn't. Did you know she's captain of the school debating team?
Yes.
I didn't. Well, anyway, we talked about her future plans and her ambitions. I have a feeling I'm really getting to know her.
Oh, what are her ambitions?
Well, she says she's either going to be a practical nurse or an astronaut.
It's interesting. Maybe she'll be a practical astronaut. Oh, listen. Fran Gordon called. She asked us to a dinner party Friday night. Everybody's going to be there. She's having that fabulous new couturier from Paris, and she's asked that man that you're always talking about. The one who won the Open Golf Championship.
Sebring?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, I've been wanting to... Well, I can't go.
Oh, do we have another date?
I do. I'm taking Patty to a Let's Beat Hudson High bonfire rally.
Hi, Papa.
Oh, hi, Patty. Have a good time.
Oh, I'm going to. With you.
What?
I'm staying in tonight. We're going to spend the whole evening together talking.
Well, that's great.
How'd things go at the office today?
Oh, at the office, fine.
How'd they really go, Papa? I think we should have conversation in depth.
Conversation in depth?
Sure. We don't have to be superficial with each other. Did you have a terrible, exhausting day?
No. As a matter of fact, it was rather a pleasant day.
Oh.
Gee, I'm sorry, honey. I wish I had some problems for you.
That's okay, Papa. You will. Hey, I made some great plans for us.
What kind of plans?
Well, Friday, you're my date for the pregame rally. Saturday, I'm taking you to a drag race on Long Island. Monday night, you're going to watch me rehearse in the Seagull. And Wednesday night is jukebox night at the Shake Shop. How does all that sound?
Fine.
I knew that would make it. And that's only the beginning, Papa. From now on, it's the togetherness bit all the way.
Fran called. She was sure sorry we missed her party. She said it was fabulous.
Yeah?
She said Mr. Sebring gave golf lessons to all the men there.
He did. See, I'll bet he could have helped me correct my slice. You know, if I could lick that, I could beat Eddie Sheldon every time.
Does he usually beat you, Uncle Martin?
He's a very lucky player. Yeah, I better get going. I told him I'd meet him in 20 minutes at the clubhouse.
I'm glad you're able to play golf every Saturday.
Yeah, so am I. I look forward to it all week.
Hi, Papa, all set?
Oh, yeah, I'm... Well, all set for what?
The big drag race.
Drag race?
Don't you remember? Rich was dying to take me, but I told him I was going with you.
Oh, well, of course, on Saturdays, honey, you know,
I told all the kids I was bringing you.
Well, actually, Patty, it's the one day in the week.
You should have seen how jealous they were. Their fathers don't take that much interest in them.
I'll get you Eddie Sheldon's phone number.
Are you sure you won't change your mind, Patty? You love jazz, and Toot Henderson's gonna play.
Toot Henderson, he's fabulous. I'd love to see him, Rich, but I can't. It'd break the old man's heart. He needs me.
For what?
You wouldn't understand, Rich. I've really gotten to know him like a book this week.
Couldn't you read him tomorrow night?
You I'll bet most kids never even look at their parents. I mean, really look at them. Home is just a bank and a restaurant. But parents are people. You know, I know it's hard to believe, but Papa was once a teenager, just like us.
Yeah, that is hard to believe.
You know, I've spent more time with him this 1 week than I have in 5 years. The minute he walks in the door, I'm right by his side.
Patty, you don't think you're overdoing the daughter bit, do you?
Overdoing it? Being with my own father? That's how little you know, Rich. I'll bet this has been the happiest week of his whole long life. And I don't mind making the sacrifice. Let me know how it was, huh?
Yeah, sure. Good night.
Night, Rich. Well, back to the old folk.
Seen Patty?
No.
Well, listen, would you mind if I read my newspaper in here?
Well, of course not, dear.
I haven't been able to read a newspaper all week. Every time I come through the door, she grabs my arm. She doesn't let go until bedtime.
I know.
You know, she's a compulsive planner. Do you know why I'm not playing golf with Eddie Sheldon on Saturday?
No, why?
Because there's a scuba diving contest at the YWCA swimming pool.
You're going scuba diving?
No, I'm the judge. What can I do?
Well, why don't you put your foot down?
Well, how can I? I'm the one who asked for this. I can't reject her. You have no idea what being with me means to her.
Papa? There you are, Papa. I've been looking all over for you.
Have you?
Yeah. Come on, I want you to hear a new beat. Will you excuse us, Mama?
Certainly.
Come on. Oh, come on, Papa. You'll really take us right. Isn't that Marvin?
Marvin?
It's called the flip-flop. I'll teach you.
Great.
You know, Papa, there aren't many fathers as interested in their daughters as you are.
Well.
Clothes, hairdos, gossip.
Gossip?
Hey, this is gonna send you right into orbit. Seal and Sam have lost it.
Lost it?
Yep, they split. Larry, her old beau, found out that Seal was doing a solo, so he decided to ditch Babe, the girl he was going with. Babe was always had a burning passion for Sam, so when she heard about Sam and Seal, she called up Sam and made a date with him. When Seal heard about that, she decided to bag it and let Sam cool it in the DF, but it was soft wax, so she called Al, Sam's brother, who's going with Tilly, Seal's best chum. And when she dropped the shell, it was egg all over everybody's face. Isn't that the grooviest?
The grooviest.
You know, that's a great item for the Brooklyn Heights Bugle. I'll be right back. Excuse me, Mama.
What was all that about?
I'm not sure, but I think we just had a conversation in depth.
And you should have seen him do the flip-flop. I was really proud of him.
Well, if I ever asked my father to dance, he'd think I'd gone crazy.
Sue? When was the last time you talked to your father?
This morning.
Yep. What'd you say to him?
Good morning, Father. Oh, and can I have an increase in my allowance?
That's what I mean. When was the last time any of you really talked to your fathers?
I can never talk to my father. He always starts screaming.
I don't have anything in common with my father. I think what Patty's trying to say is that we should make an effort to have something in common with our fathers.
What for? It's the old world.
That's exactly it. I think we should be nice to them while we have a chance.
My father works harder than anyone I know. And And I don't think I've ever even bothered to say thank you. Excuse me. I want to go make a phone call. My father's always asking me to stay home, and I never do. I think I'll go pick him up at the bank.
I didn't even remember last Father's Day. I'll see you all later.
Maybe it's my fault he always yells at me. I never thought of him as a human being before. Thanks for opening my eyes, Patty. I'll see you.
Well, Patty, it looks like you've really started something. You know, Kath, I've done some pretty great things in my day, but this has got to be my finest hour.
Jonathan, look, I assure you we didn't have anything to do with it, Jonathan. I guess Richard just decided he likes you. I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, we have the same problem here with Patty. Good luck to both of us. Let me know how it turns out, okay? Right. Goodbye.
What was all that about?
That's Richard's father. It seems that Richard wants to go away on a camping trip with him, just the two of them.
Why, that sounds wonderful.
Oh, Richard's father doesn't think so. I've never heard a man yell like that. It seems that Richard hasn't let him out of his sight for the whole week. He's going crazy.
I can understand that.
Well, I wonder what got into Richard.
I don't know, Nat, but there's some kind of a revolution going on. That's the fourth phone call I've had in the last half hour. Teenagers won't let their fathers out of their sight, and the parents all feel that Patty must be at the bottom of it.
Aunt Natalie, have you seen Patty?
Oh, I sent her out to get a prescription filled for me, Kath. It can only be filled at a drugstore way uptown.
I understand.
Kathy, Richard's father just phoned. It seems that Richard is staying by his side day and night.
I know.
Is it possible that Patty's responsible for this?
Yes. You see, Patty feels that fathers are being neglected.
Well, I'm very flattered that Patty wants to spend all this time with me and that she never leaves me alone for a minute, but, how do I turn her off?
I don't think you can, Uncle Mike. But you might try turning Richard on. Papa?
21, 22.
Papa, what are you doing down there?
I'm just doing a few push-ups. 24, 25. Oh.
Papa, a man your age should take it easy.
Now, Patty. I think it's about time that we had a little discussion about my age, okay? You know, it's not that I'm old, honey. It's that you're young. I guess it's difficult for children to have a perspective on how old their parents really are. It's sort of like you're looking at us through the wrong end of the telescope. We're not actually that far away. You understand?
Yes, Papa.
Well, good, because I intend to be around long enough to say that to your grandchildren.
Papa, you better get ready. We'll be late for the scuba diving contest.
Honey, I'm afraid I can't do that with you today. See, I've got a golf date with Eddie Sheldon.
I called and canceled it.
I know. I called and uncanceled it. I also made another call. Come on.
Hi, Rich.
I came over as soon as I got your message.
What message?
Your father called and said you wanted me to take you over to the Y this afternoon.
You called him.
That's right. Wait until you hear what Patty has planned for the rest of the week.
More coffee, darling.
Oh, thanks, son. I finished the whole newspaper.
What's so great about that?
You'll never know, son.
Patty has been pretty busy with Richard.
I feel like I'm on a vacation.
Good night, group.
Good night, dear.
Good night. Are you going out again tonight?
Yeah, Rich and I are going bowling.
Gee, Patty, you've been out every night this week. I think you should stay at home once in a while.
But, darling, they're playing in a tournament.
Yeah, but I haven't seen her all week. I mean, what's the point in having a daughter if she's never at home? Well, in a few years, Patty's going to get married.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind.